people, thank you very much. Good evening, you're all very welcome. Great show for you tonight. I tell you, there'll be more people on my sofa than there are in the Tory leadership campaign. It's kicking off, isn't it? As I speak, 11 people vying for Tory leadership. Here they are. Honestly, looks like Tory Tinder, doesn't it? I like long walks and really hard Brexits. The bookie's favourite is currently this man. It's Boris. I know. Apparently he's lost weight for the leadership campaign. I'm not sure how much, but according to Boris, it's £350 million every week. Yeah. Really slimming. Yeah. Yes? One Tory MP whose name definitely isn't on the list is this one. Yeah, tell you, her tears dried quickly, didn't they? How happy did she look at the summit in Brussels? No more Brexit. Take that, suckers. Although Theresa will stay on until June the 7th, which means she'll still be Prime Minister during Donald Trump's UK visit. What was she thinking? Wipe the smile off her face. Donald will be with us next week. He's just been visiting Japan, where he was greeted by sumo wrestlers. Quite an unusual way. Do you think they misheard when somebody shouted Trump? I have to say, those costumes, quite revealing. In fact, if we zoom in, I think we can actually see an arsehole. That's it, we're good. Let's get some guests on! Later we'll be chatting to the Queen of Latin Pop, Gloria Estefan! And we'll have chart-topping music from Jonas Brothers! Yeah! But first, this Welsh actor and activist is one of our greatest stars of stage and screen. Now he's in the Terry Pratchett fantasy Good Omens. It's Michael Sheen! That's Michael Sheen! Hello, this way. Here. It's been a while. Have a seat, dude. Starring with Michael in Good Omens, one of our finest Scottish actors who went from Doctor Who to D.I. Hardy in Broadchurch. Always a pleasure to welcome David Tennant. Australian hunk has hung up his hammer. Goodbye, Thor. Hello, Agent H in Men in Black International. It's the mighty Chris Hemsworth! Hello, sir. Good to see you. Have a seat, dude. Here he goes. Woo! Yay! Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello. No, it's like a bad joke. Welshman, a Scotsman, and an Australian walk into a bar. It's all, yeah, it's all good. So everyone well?
Very good.
Yes, yes. Everyone looks... You do all look remarkably well.
Look at this collection of beards.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Designer stubbly kind of beards. Even you've got a little
you know, but also, I'm... David Tennant, your beard can't be that not grey.
Why ever not?
That is the most uniformly beautiful dark beard I've ever seen.
Why, thank you.
Has it been enhanced?
All right, steady on. Everyone just sat down.
Just backstage, I didn't notice. When you walked out, I went, wow, that beard is uniformly dark. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thanks, thanks.
Now, Michael, I saw you on telly recently, and you were doing, you know, a thing that a lot of actors do, the vocal warm-ups. But yours had a particularly Welsh slant.
Right.
Your vocal warm-up.
Yes. Well, I always used to do vocal warm-ups when I was doing a play and when I was in youth theatre and that kind of stuff. So it's sort of embedded in my Welshness. And I made one up recently, which I thought was... which made me laugh, which was, in Aberystwyth, there is a locksmith. His name is Dysmith. It's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, very good.
Quite like that? Yeah. But then, the biggest one, which no one else can do, is that very long place name in Wales.
Well, you say no one else can do it.
No, there's no way. There's no way you can know that.
Clanfai pwch gwyn gic o gerig gwyn drobo clanti silio go go goch.
Oh, my God.
Thank you very much.
Wowza.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, Michael's from Wales.
Yes.
He should know. He might need a taxi one day. But why do you know that?
I know that because when I was at the Royal Shakespeare Company about, I don't know, 15 years ago or something, we had a performance of The Comedy of Errors, and it was going to be interpreted for the deaf. So there was somebody at the side of the stage doing all that stuff, and we thought, how can we really wind them up? So I spent...
Kill them? Wind them up?
So I spent a week learning how to say Clan Bai Poco and Giko Geri Gundrobo Clantisili Gogogok. Mally Harris taught me how to say it. She was in the company with us.
Wow.
And in the middle of this production, this person who's studied the script for weeks, of course, to get down how to sign language an entire Shakespearean performance. We slipped that in, and then just stopped and looked round to see.
But then presumably you'd no idea whether they'd done it right or not.
No, I know, and she just sort of waved her hands around. It could have been anything. She got away with it.
Because Australia and New Zealand, there's good place names down there. They went for it when they were naming places.
They did. My brother's wife is from New Zealand. She's from a little place. And they've all turned up tonight. A place called Whakatane. Yes. No more cheers. Yeah. That's a real place.
So she's a Whakatanian.
Whakatanian.
Whakatanian?
She's an Australian, actually. Yeah, my brother. Yeah.
Oh, OK.
So, yeah.
Now, I have to say, congratulations to you. Of course, since you were last here, Avengers Endgame has gone on to be one of the most successful films of all time in the world ever. Yeah. I mean, that must be a great feeling, to go out on that high.
It's incredible, yeah. We talked about it, what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
Something like that.
I've been in the dressing room.
I know. I felt like, you just wait.
I've never left. I'm like, let me back in, let me back in.
Oh, the waiting time in that cab is going to be expensive. But we weren't able to talk about it then, but now we can talk about poor old Thor in that film. He did eat his feelings.
He definitely ate his way through his emotions, yeah.
He did. We've got some pictures. There you are, eating your feelings.
That's it.
But now, you didn't do that.
Oh, no, that was my full Raging Bull Oscar attempt.
Look, I mean... So this is a fat suit.
It's the most remarkable thing. It's
so good.
It's a prosthetic latex kind of thing, which literally I would slip into. It weighed about 60, 70 pounds, what's that, 30, 40 kilograms, with a zip up the back. And they're taking photos of my body, and then every little sort of the hair or freckle or whatever the hell that was on that thing. That's my body in like 6 months' time. After this.
And like Thor was depressed, but was it depressing for you walking around like that?
No, it was so much fun. It was good.
Did people treat you differently? As in ignored you?
Yeah, every time I stepped toward the catering truck, they were like, no. Not enough, big guy. You know, on the treadmill.
We were doing an interview yesterday, and the journalist for Good Omens, and the journalist asked me, "Were you wearing a fat suit for it?" And I'm not. This doesn't zip up. Didn't she?
She did, I'm afraid. She didn't really recover from that moment.
No.
The interview never
went south quite quickly.
And did you get the pregnant lady thing, where people just want to touch your stomach?
You got a lot of cuddles. And my wife, she's had 3 kids. And often, you know, the pregnant lady, they get the belly rub in the supermarket. And Robert Downey gave me a fair share of belly rubs. Everyone just wanted to cuddle me. I felt like Santa Claus, you know?
Yeah.
A few sort of Avengers on my lap from time to time. But... weird, so.
Oh, dear. Right, we start tonight with Men in Black International. It's gone international. It's out on the 14th of June, and here's a taste. So, Men in Black are back. But now, this is a thing, you know, we've had prequels, we've had sequels. This is a thing I haven't heard. This is a sidequel.
A sidequel? Yeah, it's an extension. The Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, what they set up many years ago, brilliant, and they still exist in this universe as far as this film's concerned. And this was an extension of that. It's a London branch, and wanted to give it a more of a global feel. You know, the other films were shot in New York and had the urban landscape there, and we shot in London, Paris, Morocco, Italy, and a bit in New York, so it has a different sort of aesthetic, but all the same fun, action and adventure of the originals.
And then you and the new agent, Tess Thompson, this film reunites you. She was Valkyrie in the Avengers. And did you know when you were doing Avengers that you were then going on together to do this?
No, we didn't. We had a great time. Originally, Thor, Ragnarok, we worked together and it was fantastic. And then Avengers and Infinity War, Endgame. And this opportunity came up and we thought, fantastic, we can capitalise on the relationship. It's funny, you spend like 50% of a film often kind of getting to know one another if you've never worked together. So we could kind of hit the ground running with this one.
So you may be Thor no more, we don't know, but you talk about your 3 kids. There is a Thor in waiting in your kitchen, because this is one of your twins, I think.
Yeah, yep.
So your wife sent you this video. So what's he trying to do?
Well, we'd hidden the like little lollies of chocolate, which is bribery with kids, which is the only way to get through raising children. Up high, and we thought he'll never get to them. And
check this. How old is he, by the way?
He was about 3 at the time. He's in nutcase.
So this is a 3-year-old. And you think you leave a 3-year-old alone in your kitchen?
Yeah. Look at his hair too.
Wow. Look at him go. Look at him.
He's
wow. And like that's a slippery fridge.
Yeah.
Look at him. He likes chocolate. Oh, he can. Very good.
He's a kind of... He's twin boys, and the other one is highly intelligent, smart, manipulative in a good way, but runs like he has a pair of flippers on,
Okay.
Like, his athletic ability it wasn't gifted that way. That one's is all physicality, and he's an athlete.
Together, they could rule the world. Now, David Tennant, you will see Chris's 3 children and raise him.
Sure.
What, you're about to go to number 5?
We're about to go to number 5. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
People applauding you. Well done. Great effort. Great effort.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very good.
Very exciting. It's quite a spread that we have 17 at one end, so there'll be 17 years between them. Yeah.
Wow. But Ty, the 17-year-old, is giving you advice.
Yes, that's the slightly weird bit about having children with that big a gap, that at 17 he's going, what, you're having another one? Really? Listen, it's quite odd when you're in the position where your 17-year-old is giving you a lecture on birth control. Very much, I'm sure it's meant to be the other way around.
But also, your daughter, I think your daughter drew a picture of Daddy.
Yes. Yes, my daughter went to nursery school and they said, draw a picture of your parents, and she drew this picture and said, this is my daddy.
This is your daughter's interpretation of Daddy. Presumably social services came round quite soon after this.
It's quite complicated.
She's really captured your eye.
Yes. She has a great eye for scale.
And the sun.
You look very happy about it.
Wow. Look at that.
Is there an explanation? No. We'll just draw a veil.
She just said, this is my daddy. This is
Daddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is...
Okay, let's just leave it at that. Now, Michael Sheen, you've been in the news. Well, not you, well, sort of you.
Right.
Because Port Talbot
Yes.
Has been in the news.
Oh, yes.
You were involved in this. So, Banksy went to Port Talbot.
Yeah, well, so, just before Christmas, a man called Ian woke up one morning and looked outside his house, and there on his garage wall was a bit of street art.
Right, we've got that. We've got there. So this is.
There you go.
This is
That's his garage.
Yeah.
And then people started kind of coming and looking, and then rumours were, it looks like a Banksy. A Banksy has appeared in Port Talbot. And then it was confirmed, because then on Banksy's website, he showed a video. So he must have been there, obviously, but of course, no one knows. No one saw him doing it. That's quite involved. You'd think you'd notice someone doing that.
That'll take a while.
Inside your house. Now, this guy, Ian, it was his garage, and suddenly he's got, like, thousands of people coming down to look at it, and it's a, you know, it was a bit of an issue. So I got in touch with him, and I said, you know, are you all right? Can you handle this? And he was very stressed out by it. So anyway, we ended up paying for some security and getting it sort of protected and that kind of stuff.
So did you pay
over the
for
Christmas
these
period.
traffic cones?
That bollard, yes. Yeah.
That is...
Exactly.
I mean, you really went all out.
Oh, it did a great...
I mean, that really...
The people in Talbot are very polite. If they see a bollard, they leave it alone. And it was just to get it through the Christmas period, you know. And now, so the news was that yesterday it was finally removed in one piece, and it's going to be put into an art gallery, a street art gallery in Port Talbot at the end of Station Road, with like hundreds of other Banksy pieces. This guy owns a lot of them, and he bought a lot of them, and so now it's going to become this street art gallery. So of course it was very scary that they thought, we weren't sure whether it would actually be able to be removed without destroying it, but it worked, thankfully.
Now,
all happened.
I'm worried for Ian because obviously the stress of owning a Banksy's gone, but now he's got 2 walls missing from his...
That's right. So his car's been nicked, but Banksy is fine.
Oh, dear. Now, moving on. Because David Tennant and Michael Sheen, you are together at last in Good Omens. It's streaming on Amazon Prime Video from today. And, of course, 2 huge names in fantasy, Neil Gaiman and the late Terry Pratchett came up with this. And is it true this was Terry's dying wish, that this become a series?
Yeah, well, so Neil and Terry wrote the book almost 30 years ago now.
Wow.
So it's a very, very beloved book. And there have been lots of plans to turn it into a film or a TV show. And then Terry got quite ill in his last years, and he said to Neil, "Look, I really want you to do this. I want to be able to see it before I go." And so Neil thought that he would have more time, but then Terry died, sadly. And so Neil said that he went to his funeral, and then when he came home from his funeral, he started writing episode 1, and he saw it as being Terry's last wish. And so we had the premiere the other night, and Terry had always said to Neil, "I won't believe that we've got it done until I'm sitting there at the premiere with a great big bag of popcorn, and even then I probably won't believe it." And so at the premiere the other night, Terry's hat and a big bag of popcorn was on the seat.
Oh.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Which, of course, I think then it makes you think, oh, this must be sad. But it's not sad.
No.
It's a romp. I mean, oddly, it is a romp to the end of the world.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But that's essentially what it is.
It's a very jolly end of days story.
Yes. So just explain to people who you guys are.
I'm Crowley, a demon who has been on Earth since the beginning of time, and Michael...
I am Aziraphale, an angel who has been on Earth since the beginning of time.
You first meet us at the Garden of Eden, and we've been there ever since. I'm there to corrupt humanity, and Michael's there to keep it on the right track. But over the millennia, we sort of figure out that our very presences sort of cancel each other out. So maybe we could take the pressure off and just kind of have a nice time.
Why should both of us travel to the same place, one to try and corrupt someone and the other to try and save them, when just one could go and do a bit of both?
Yeah.
Yes. Saves all the... Saves the time at the end.
So we fall in love with the mortal world. We kind of eschew our respective head offices and are having quite a nice time until I'm charged with delivering the Antichrist, which will trigger the end of days, apocalypse, no more nice glasses of wine, no more nice dinners. So we decide to stop the apocalypse.
Yeah. Angel and demon team up to stop the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Simple
Well, I'll tell you what, the clip is kind of that. It's David's character trying to get you on board with the idea of cooperating.
Right.
Was that you driving?
I don't think that was me driving, no. I think that was slightly augmented, wasn't it? Yeah.
And what's it like now? Because, you know, this book, I mean, as you say, people love this book.
Oh, yeah.
So are you nervous, or are you just kind of stepping away and kind of going, we're just in it, there you go?
Oh, and of course you're nervous, yeah, because people have loved this book for 30 years. They've got ideas of what these characters are. So it's wonderful to be in the middle of something so beloved, but it's also...
Yeah.
It's like getting cast as the god of thunder. If you weren't such a human god, We might have all been disappointed, but that's perfect casting. So you kind of think, will we, you know, it's like that. It's a similar situation.
It's the sort of thing that people come up to you and go, I have every word of the book tattooed all over my body. It's like people are committed to this.
Yes. Because actually, you mentioned the Marvel thing. Did you like the films, or was you loved the
I
comics?
grew up loving Marvel Comics. Proper Marvel Comics nerd. So, yeah. I'd have been furious if they'd cast anyone else.
I was glad you said that. Highly disappointed.
Now, you would think having lots of children would keep you kind of young, tech-savvy, you know, you'd know what's going on. But David Tennant, this has not happened for you. You recently found out that you got left behind in the world of texting and things.
Well, yeah, now when you start jobs, because of the Me Too movement and lots of, you know, great strides forward are being made in making sure workplaces are safe. So now different companies have different ways of coping with that. And I had to, for a show I was doing, I had to sit and watch a video and prove that I'd watched this video from start to finish. And it takes you through things that are acceptable and not acceptable in the workplace. And then, right at the end of this sequence, when it's talking about how to communicate on your mobile phone and what's appropriate and what isn't appropriate, it says, and remember, the eggplant emoji is not just an eggplant. And that's it! And I'm left going, what the fuck is an eggplant? It's an aubergine, right? I mean, but that's not what they mean. There's a whole... And it turns out, and I knew nothing about this, there's a whole kind of language.
Yes, there is.
Usually based around foodstuffs. Where they represent other things.
Yeah. Yes.
And asking someone out for a taco could easily be misinterpreted. It turns out. Did you know that? Be careful. Did you know about this?
Yes, of course! Where have you been?
I mean, the eggplant kind of looks like... It doesn't even look like an eggplant. It's you know...
And then you've got the peach.
And the peach.
And then if you start adding to that the raindrops and all, you can do anything.
It's
Don't act innocent. Don't come here with your... Ooh, no,
it's a minefield, clearly.
But do you text? Do you have a smartphone?
I do, yes.
OK, then I've no idea how that passed you by. That's weird.
Because I thought the emojis were just meant to represent what they represented. I didn't know there was this whole kind of other language you had to learn.
Can you get explicit emojis?
That's what we need.
Yes.
Apple needs to move forward and just call a vagina a vagina.
Peering at it. What is that? What is that emoji? The thing is, there's an image of you as the doctor that the fans are not letting go. And it's just this. It's a very simple thing. It's just you in the street doing that. Now, this meme is called David Tennant in places he shouldn't be.
Right.
So you must have seen these.
I've seen a couple, I think, yeah.
If you don't know what an eggplant emoji is, I mean, the chance of seeing a meme is really slim. Now, obviously, you know, beginners, a beginner one is just, of course, you're at the royal wedding. Where else would you be? Then we've got you in education. You know the answer. No one else does. You're on it. Then I think, what have we got next? Oh, ice skating. There you go. Very good at that. Then we've got you in film. There you are in The Lion King. And finally, there you are at synchronized swimming. Good, right? You like it? Very good. Okay. Brilliant. Now, it's time to meet our next guest. This Latin pop superstar has had huge triumphs and personal challenges in her amazing life, which now comes to the stage in the new musical, On Your Feet. Please welcome Gloria Estefan! Woo!
So happy to be back.
So happy to see you. Gloria, Chris, David, Michael.
How did we end up on the same show? I love you.
Oh.
Huge fan
Oh,
three.
sit down. Gloria Estefan's here. I love you. You are such a kind of positive life force. You're
Thank you.
A cheery, lovely woman. Lovely to have
Very
her.
cheerful.
And now, obviously, you've just met everyone, but do you know people? You know David from the last time.
Yes, I
Last
know.
time I was on the show,
Same
we were
show.
together. I will only do this show if you're on.
Thank you. I requested you personally. Thank you. Of course, I know them all. I'm a huge fan, and that character you've created for The Good Fight. Oh, my God, you're insane on that show.
I watched the show that you were on together, and I did absolutely fall in love with you.
Oh,
I'd always been a fan, but...
you're so sweet. Well, I'm a
wonderful.
huge fan of them all. And of you.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
No, but Chris, you're into the Latin beats.
You are.
I mean, my wife is Spanish.
Oh,
and
right.
I do Dancing with the Stars in Australia.
Oh, she's Spanish from Spain?
Yeah, Madrid.
Whoa.
That's
And,
sort of Spanish. Oh, yeah.
The mother
The
tongue
original.
language.
Yeah. No, we've got some pictures of you. Look, there you are. That you doing your samba.
Oh.
And this one's very impressive. The next one is really impressive. Look at that.
Wow.
That's an accident, whatever that happened. Yeah.
Was that not meant to happen?
No.
You didn't drop her, did you?
Backflip, and I took that to a mid. Yeah.
Gloria Estefan, the moment has finally arrived. On Your Feet is on the stage.
Yes.
It's got here.
I'm so excited.
It's opened on Monday in Leicester at the Curve, then from the 14th of June till the 31st of August at the London Coliseum. I can tell you're excited because you're so excited. You took to the streets of London for a promotional opportunity. I'd love to see people watching you film this. Here's Gloria and some friends having fun in the streets. You're not in the show. It's somebody who played you.
Yeah, I'm not in the show. I'm not in the show.
Actually, can we just go back? 'Cause I think I noticed something in that video.
Uh-oh.
If you just notice, look at that.
You didn't say hello. What happened? Oh,
But now, here's the thing. So we know it's your life story, but what's the arc? How much of your life do we see? Just
The
tell people
arc.
what happens.
2 hours worth.
2 hours of your life in
No,
real time.
actually, you know, I think people are going to be surprised. The main thing that I get from everyone that sees the show is they expect to go in and see the dancing, the singing, you know, conga, rhythm is going to get you, which it will, by the way.
That rhythm will get you. Yeah.
I think they're surprised because we take them on an emotional journey. You know, they really do see the ups and downs. And when I was going to do the show, the writer, Alex Dinelaris, who won an Oscar for Birdman, thank God we hired him before because we couldn't have afforded him afterwards, he told me, you and your husband are a nightmare to write for. I go, why? He goes, there's no conflict. I go, let me introduce you to my mother. And, oh, you identify there, do you?
No. She said that, Mom. I did not. Love you.
So I told my mom, I go, Mom, we're going to tell the truth, you know, because there were some things that happened there. She really was not too happy with my husband when we got together because he wasn't a doctor or a lawyer. And he was a businessman and a musician. She thought he was going to take me away and, you know, break my heart or whatever. So she really tortured him for only about 12 years of our married life. And then after the accident, when she saw that he was so incredible, she thought he'd leave me for sure or something. She realized who he really is. And so you see little bits in us fighting to get the...
Yeah, because this was the bus crash where you nearly lost your life. But
yes.
So out of that, your husband and your mother did come together.
They did. I mean, he was always very respectful and lovely with her, but she wasn't having it. And then one day in the hospital when she came to see me. And by the way, she hadn't spoken to me for 2 years before that bus crash because I took my sister on the road with us. And she got upset that I had, you know, taken my sister as well. So she was a teacher, and she was in the teacher's lounge. She was the union rep and had just finished a meeting. And on the little ticker that scrolls, she sees Gloria Estefan dead in bus crash. So, like, she collapsed on the floor, and then a friend of hers said, no, that's a mistake. You know, she's alive, she's very injured, but she's okay. So she flew to Scranton, where I still was, and then later went to New York. And in the hospital, Emilia was trying to be so strong and everything, but one day she was looking for some door, and she opened the door to a closet, and he was on the floor sobbing on his knees, like in tears. And I think that just, it melted her heart, and she realized that he really did love me, that it wasn't just, for show. So there's a lot of really difficult things. My father, who was a political prisoner in Cuba for 2 years, and then joined the U.S. Army and got very ill from Agent Orange poisoning. So we take you on an emotional ride as well as the fun.
And your mom, now sadly, she didn't live to see the show, did she?
Well, she didn't want to see the show because, and I didn't want to be guilty of matricide because I could kill her emotionally watching this show. But she had spies everywhere that would tell her about the show. I sat down, I played her all the music, I would show her the designs for the clothes, I would, I gave her the script, she read the script, and then the first time she ever spoke to the lady that played her on Broadway, Andrea Burns, a wonderful actor, her first line was, "What are you doing with my life?" So she didn't go, but I know she's there. She's there.
But your daughter posted a fabulous video of her and your mother, her granny.
She became a famous rapper in her later years.
So this is your mother and your daughter together.
Yo sé que me extrañaron, no vayan a llorar. Pero más que rapeo, tengo que trabajar. Aquí desde mi silla arreglo 1000 problemas, llamando yo a mi yerno para que los resuelva. Gestiono por aquí, dispongo por allá. Pero a los que me llamen, muy caro pagarán. Sí. Yes. Don't worry, I make an offer they can refuse.
She was laughing about how she controls the world from her little kitchen table, that's where she was, and how she does it is calling my husband, so he takes care of it for her. And then somebody called her to do something. She goes, I'll make them an offer they can't refuse.
Could you follow all the Spanish, Chris?
Yeah, fluently. I can translate.
Yeah.
This is subtitled.
Now, Gloria, every time you come, you have this thing where you take your hits and you then do kind of new lyrics.
Parodies, yes.
New lyrics. So apparently you've got a new one for us.
Yes, and it was inspired. I wrote it today.
That's very new.
Yes, because they asked me for new ones and I didn't have any, and I go, I know you love this. Yeah. So it was inspired because, my assistant constantly puts things where I can't get to them because she says it's job security. So it inspired me to write a song for you. I've signed it and everything. I have to read it because it's too fresh.
It's too fresh.
I don't know it by heart.
Let's play a little bit of the original.
All right.
Okay, so here's the original.
If I could reach higher, just for one moment touch the sky. From that one moment in my life, I'm gonna be...
Yes.
So there's the original.
Yes, that was the Olympic theme song for the Atlanta Games in '96. Exactly.
Okay. So this is Gloria Estefan a cappella with.
Okay, so we go. Some things are hung high in my wardrobe. Those things so difficult to grab. So I'll need a ladder to climb. Being short is just a challenge of mine. But I need my gray dress so I can get to Graham Norton in time. If I could reach the top shelf, I put on high heels and I try, but that damn shelf is bloody high. I've got to be taller. Maybe some stilts will do the trick. Then I won't need that pile of bricks if I could reach.
Oh!
There we go.
Very good.
I'm giving it to you.
Thank you so much.
That is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Gloria Estefan, everybody.
Thank you.
Lovely. Right. It is time for music. After 6 years apart, one of Pop's favourite families is back, performing the smash hit single, Sucker. It is Jonas Brothers. Jonas Brothers, fabulous job, boys. Come on over and chat, you. you so much. Great to see you. Come in. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Come in. Meet everyone. It's Michael, David, Chris, Gloria.
Good to see you.
Aw.
Good to see you.
There you go. Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat.
You got enough room?
Should I just there you go. Here. Well, you all fit on there. You could fit on there. Look at this. Loads of room. Loads of room. You aren't there, Gloria.
I'm fine.
Who's manspreading? It's you. It's you, Chris. Look, there you go. Look, there's loads of room there. Yeah.
I'm not that big. I've
Oh,
got
there
plenty
you
of
go. Look,
space.
you're great. You're great. Great.
Watch it, I'll grab up this.
Thank you so much for that voice. Actually, now, Gloria, you've worked together.
Yes, we were on a show together.
We were.
And I heard I was part of your bachelor party, too,
She was
somehow.
indeed. We were playing Gloria's music loud on the yacht.
I saw your friend dancing. He's quite something.
Yeah, you know, it got us moving. Her music got us moving, and so we're gonna
The
have to come
rhythm's
see the show
rhythm's
now.
gonna get you.
I think my music and maybe some...
Maybe some.
Yeah, cheers to that. Yeah, talking of. There you go. So listen, thank you very much for that song. Straight to the top of the US charts. Did really, really well here.
Thank you.
Yes. It's exciting because it's on the brand new album. It's out next Friday, June the 7th. There it is. There's the album. Now, it's called Happiness Begins. Now, I don't get it. Just seeing that picture with Happiness Begins above it, it begs questions.
It makes all the sense in the world.
But it's a lovely picture. Thank you.
Happiness begins and ends.
Begins with a little dip in the pool.
So, this is, I mean, it's a wonderful thing because obviously there was excitement. You know, people love Jonas Brothers. But, yes. But,
One, we got one.
yeah. But, and, you know, but it must be relief that people want to buy the music, that they're excited they're buying the records and everything. That must be, you know...
That's incredible. I mean, I think the thing for us is that 6 years away from doing this together and the individual experiences and journey that we went on brought us back. But more importantly than anything else, just the family aspect of this and prioritizing that above everything else made the payoff of this record and everything else even sweeter.
Yeah. And obviously, getting back together, it was top secret. Nobody knew. But Kevin, apparently there was a mole.
Yeah.
In the
There's
Jonas
a mole in
band.
the family.
There's a mole in the family. My oldest daughter, Alina, she told her entire school that we were coming out with a movie. And so her teacher said, "So will she be staying with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? What are you talking about?" She goes, "Well, she says she's going on tour with you and she's leaving, but I know you're not making music right now." I'm like, "What have you done, Alina? What have you done?" And then parents started bringing her Jonas Brothers gifts from years past. So I knew then she blew the secret. It was over.
And you're going on tour. The British leg starts next January in Birmingham, the 29th of January, and then you're off to London, Glasgow, Manchester, and you can pre-order from Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Yeah. They're doing it. They're doing it. That's what they're doing. Listen, thank you so much for coming to and performing all that live. Good luck with the album. Good luck with the tour. Jonas Brothers, everybody. Woo! Hey! Now, that is nearly all we've got time for, but before we go, let's take a visit to the big red chair. Hello.
Hello,
Hi, what's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah. And what do you do, Sarah?
I'm a midwife.
A midwife.
Can I get on back?
What? yeah. David Tennant wants a loyalty card.
You're gonna have six and you get a loyalty.
And I said good story. Midwife will have a good story. Off you go with your story.
Unfortunately, it's not about being a midwife. It implicates my boyfriend. So my boyfriend lives in Scotland, so I was over here visiting him. And it's the second time I'd met his family since we've been together. So we drove to a rural part of Scotland and we parked and jumped out of the car to go for a walk. And there was a playground there. So Sam ran to a seesaw and I went to the other side. He's a lot bigger than I am, so when he jumped on, I went up. And the first time I got a little bit of air and I pulled myself down. And I laughed, and because I laughed, the next time he did it, he catapulted me into the air, like 10 to 12 feet in the air, and I landed teeth first on a metal bar, so in front of his whole family. I smashed 3 of my teeth in, and yeah, I was beside the bar, and I was like, I'm fine. All of my teeth are in the wrong place, but I'm fine. I was definitely not fine. And yeah, so what a introduction.
Now,
Got
can I just say,
completely maimed.
are you still with that moron?
Not unfortunately. Yes, I definitely am. He's the loveliest. So, and plus I've got the best, you know, thing over him. So
Yeah.
in years to come, I think.
And
I'll
your
be
new
like,
teeth are lovely.
two of them are still dead, and there's still tooth shattered into my lip. So
You must walk. You have to walk. It's a mad story. Can we have one more? Yeah, one more. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Are you from Australia or New Zealand?
I am from Australia.
Okay. Do you know that was she called Sarah?
Yeah, I do know her.
Okay. Are you related to her in some way?
Yeah, she's my twin sister.
They're both my sisters too. They're both my sisters as well. There's only like 6 of us in Australia.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey guys.
Australia's empty at the moment. The lights are out.
Everyone left.
Yeah. And are you traveling with your sister, or what's the story?
No, I live in London, and she's visiting.
Oh, okay. And how are your teeth?
My teeth are fine.
Yeah, good.
So,
I know. They do look
Perfect. Yeah, we've got good dentists. In
Yeah.
Australia.
Okay, off you go with your story.
so this is a story about my cousin. So we're visiting them in Adelaide, and as we were flying, they met us at the airport to see us off. And my cousin was 4 years old, and as he was watching our plane take off, he put his hands on his hips, looked up at the sky and said, "I can't wait till I'm old enough to ride a Virgin."
Yeah. All right, that really is all we've got time for. If you'd like to have a go on the red show yourself and tell your story, you can contact us via our website. Please say a huge thanks to all of our guests tonight. Jonas Brothers, Michael Sheen, David Tennant, Chris Hemsworth, and Gloria Estefan. Join me next week with pop group Bastille, singer-turned-actor Paloma Faith, National Treasure Stephen Fry, and Fleabag's hot vicar Andrew Scott. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.